Marcus takes over the night shift, collects a cocktail of ibuprofen and walkers, and now he's gotta go help some of his fellow men survive the zombie apocalypse. And of the 3 people that needs his assistance, he decides to help out Jacob first. But as I'm leaving, I almost evacuate my bowels. Bloody hell, man. Scared the shit out of me. We take off in the cop car, and maybe for the first time ever, I get to my destination without trashing the thing. Jacob's not in the first house, so I decide to check out the garage next door. That's not exactly a smart zombie, is it? I walk in, but Jacob is nowhere to be found. Peekaboo, motherfucker! What are you doing up there, you silly sausage?
Thanks for coming to get me. I'm ready to leave now.
Come on then, knobhead, let's get you home, son. Whee! Wow, that was great, eh? Anyone else surprised this didn't end in a fiery explosion? Because I certainly bloody am. I drop Jacob off and all I get for risking life and limb is a little thank you. And it's only the abbreviation. What a twat. Next up, Ada needs a hand hunting a feral. But hunting's a hard man's game, so I gotta put him through the ringer. I'd say that's some impressive form. Fair play. However, my excitable start may have drawn a few knobheads over. And while Aiden was waiting for me, he didn't even have the decency to search his containers. Dude, this fucking food, dude. Do you know how valuable that shit is? Can't believe you didn't even think to, like, search this place. So now it's time to hunt a feral. And I've always thought ferals were a lot like cougars. They mainly hunt at night looking for younger meat. You don't hunt them, they hunt you. Ah, shit, that's my bad. I think we're talking about a very different type of cougar. Mayday, mayday! Yeah, hold him still, hold him still. Oh, you've just... But he gets bit, he's super quick, and he just refuses to hold the prick still. Here we go. And with that feral successfully taken care of, I decide to help another friend destroy an infestation. Although I've been known to become overexcitable. I thought this was the infestation, I'll be honest. Thankfully, the real infestation isn't too far away, but every time I go toe-to-toe, things tend to get out of hand. Luckily, my arse end has been known to get me out of deep shit. Me and Karen then finish off the last few with a battle axe, and personally, I'm just glad that Juggernaut couldn't be asked to wander over. I find a rucksack of petrol in this scrap pile, then drop off all of my resources back at base. Then Lily tells me of another Clio supply drop, and seeing as that's gone so well previously, I agreed to check it out in the now battered police car, and I once again refused to dick about with this. Oh, bloater. Well, at least bloaters aren't as deadly as in State of Decay 2. I drop a molly and batter a bitch or two, and Marcus also develops his matrix abilities. Never skip float above the ground day in the gym. And with that, I'm actually able to loot the Clio site. Look at all this incredible loot, and I didn't even nearly die to get it. This is literally unheard of. I might becoming a competent gamer. 1 like on the video equals yes. 1 sarcastic comment equals no. And while you're there, you might as well subscribe, seeing as 80% of you haven't. We're trying to hit 20k by the end of the year, so do me a solid favour, is it? So I again drop the shit off back at base, and then agree to cause a distraction for our neighbours so they can loot in peace. Fine, I can cause a distraction. What kind of distraction do they need? Hopefully it'll be a big fireball. Those are my favourite kind of distractions. Unfortunately, it doesn't go down like that. I rock up at an unfinished house, and a distraction bar appears on the left-hand side. So I just start blasting into this wooden panel. The mission completes, and the game just flat out insults me. Who the fuck thinks they're talking to me like that? Well, with that done, and Lily always moaning about us needing more outposts, I make a waypoint to a gas station on the edge of Marshall. Don't do it. Don't roll over, please. Oh, for Christ's sake. Thank God for that. Also, I'm getting quite low on aspirin now. Well, you should probably stop throwing yourself at the cars, you bloody moron. Why am I kidding myself? I'll never learn that lesson. Whee! That was pretty sick. The only problem is I'm pretty sure I'm now trapped in this field. It turns out I'm very much trapped in this field, especially as these fences were made in Wakanda. Fortunately, I am just built different. So I arrive at the Pronto petrol station. Unfortunately, though, I am not alone. Oh, you prick. Stealthy bastard. I cave in his skull, but I've got to completely search the place before I can claim it as an outpost. And there's a few individuals that don't want me gentrifying the area. Oh, you motherfucker. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Get off me! Get off me! So I roll on out of there, and things start getting very hot indeed. But for once, I'm actually having doubts on the effectiveness of my molly game. You twat! And after losing my temper, I whip it out like that kid you should definitely be keeping an eye on. And this is the simple brutality of the State of Decay universe. You shoot 1 zombie and 3 more take its place. Fucking have that, you twat. We're going different strategy. My LB button's not working. Why are you not running, Marcus? Don't fucking tell me it's because you got no stamina, you prick. After having enough of dicking about with these hordes, I jump in the car. But it's obviously not my car. Its entire purpose is to be used as a battering ram to mow down knobheads. And I'm obviously not going to use the muscle car for that. Once they're cleared, I search the petrol station, then break my axe on the next approaching horde. But apparently it was only a replica from Lord of the Rings. Thankfully, I've got an absolutely killer strategy, which involves me drop kicking then roly-polying before eviscerating skulls with my combat knife. Then I can finish looting and make the place an outpost. After that, I realise I haven't used off the goth girl for a while, so decide to pay a visit. Well, technically I was looking for a new new vehicle. But hey, look, I'm a modern man. That means I can multitask. Actually, I take that back. Goth girl, please come and save me. Thankfully, they're pretty sound about my noisy arrival and leading a horde straight to their house. Well, technically it's a garden shop, but who am I to judge? Good going, team. Didn't even have to molly them. Unfortunately, they don't even have a single melee weapon I can pinch. So I guess I'll just help myself to their mollies then. I then get a mission to go speak to Sergeant Eric Tam. He's asked if I'd meet him at this old abandoned building. There's another soldier there that's been abandoned by his platoon, and very cleverly the game gives you subtle hints to let you know he's on death's door. With the soldier dead, we decide to chat outside, and he's like, that rambling buffoon mentioned water several times during that conversation. So we decide to go check out the reservoir nearby, and it seems the reservoir was the site of some sort of massacre. Like, Jesus Christ, I guess Jeffrey Dahmer survived the zombie apocalypse. Cough, he's gonna die. Do I put him down or not? I decide to delay the mercy killing for now, and we go for a wander down towards the waterfront. Now, I'm no expert, but it seems that some silly knobhead has been dropping tons and tons of dead guys into our only water source. Maybe this goes beyond my earlier suspicion of Jeffrey Dahmer. Well, I guess that would explain why everybody seems to be getting sick. But hey, I'm sure everything will turn out fine in the end. I then decide to head back home, as it seems someone's having a little temper tantrum. So I'm like, come on son, let's go blow off some steam. Turns out there's tons of zombies in this area, and Marcus has the great idea of taking them out the old-fashioned way. But I obviously disagree with that statement. What do you mean, trust lost? Was he some kind of pussy? Especially as I completely forgot to equip a new melee weapon after the axe broke. Luckily, my dropkick strategy seems to be coming in clutch. Also, machine gun goals. However, as previously discussed, zombies are attracted to noise, and that does make our escape a little harder than normal. And as Aiden drops to his knees and the car bursts into flames, I figure the only thing I can do is just simply abandon them both. So I get to a safe distance and stop, watch, and wait for the inevitable explosion. But surprisingly, that never comes, even after I try helping things along with a cheeky Molotov. Aiden once again loses trust in me, but that molly's what frees him from the horde that's attacking him. Honest to God, that little fucker needs to be more grateful. If I had a time machine, I'd go back and expel the fucker while I had the chance. Surprisingly, we get home without the car killing us both horrifically, and I decide to swap to Maya Torres. And with all of our vehicles currently on their last legs, Maya asks Ray Santos to deliver us a new one. What a legend. Thank you, Ray Santos. Maybe I misjudged you. I then take out a screamer, although admittedly a little bit too late. Yes, I'm being chastened by a naughty nurse. Well, I never thought I'd run away from one of them. And I certainly didn't think I'd cave in the skull of one. Maya agrees to do Lily another favour by agreeing to climb up this silo for like the third time. Either Lily is developing dementia, or she's hoping I slip and fall from a great height. But hey, who doesn't love sliding down a ladder? Torres then agrees to help a friend clear an infestation, but we get overrun before we can even start the mission. Luckily, I'm an out-of-the-box kind of thinker. Although admittedly, we now need to run to the infestation, but hey, you know what they say? Cardio's the most important rule of Zombieland. Literally 2 shots later, the infestation falls, although my friend does get attacked by the horde that's drawn by my gunfire. There we go. Where's she gone? Well, technically I think she's in several places at once, but I'd say her main job right now is fertilizing this orchid. I then overhear a conversation between Big Ed and Doc Hansen. Turns out Ed's bite wound he received at the beginning of the game is completely healed. Well, that is great news, and I'm sure there's no foreshadowing whatsoever. She then decides to help out another ally, and you should know exactly how we do that by now. I got you. No, you can't lose trust in me, you prick. And after doing such an amazing job saving him, I've then got to give him a lift home. But I do take the opportunity to grab myself a new car. Also, this is the second time in the past hour that Jacob has needed saving. Honestly, this bloke is a liability, and I don't know how much longer I'm going to save him for.
If you wanted to claim dibs on some of the better gear, I don't think anybody'd mind.
Lily, I've been doing that since day one. Even when I wasn't impressing people, I was still dipping my hand into the communion deposit box, whatever you want to call it, alright? For the second time today, I agreed to go on a feral hunt. It's also the third time I've tried to run over one of my friends. Thankfully, we find one incredibly quickly, and I don't even have to leave the car in order to kill the fucker. He knew exactly who the alpha was and was like, nah, I'm alright, you win, champ. I then get asked to check in on an enclave that sounded scared over the radio. There's these 2 redneck motherfuckers threatening this dude with guns. They're like, you owe us ammo, you little fucker, but he's like, I swear I haven't got any. But they're reasonable men and give him 2 days to come up with the ammo, or they'll come back and shoot him and all of his family. Once they leave, he begs me for assistance. He's like, is there any chance you can spare 5 cases of ammo to save a man and his family? But I'm like, nah mate, you're on your own, son. And after making that heartless decision, I realised something. It's been a solid minute since I paid a visit to the Wilkinsons, although they're less than friendly when I approach their door.
Help you with something?
Hell you won't.
So while they're not looking, I pinch several of their molly reserves, then use my pickup truck to herd a horde. I then circle their house with my finger on the horn button and sit back and watch the chaos unfold. But they seem to be having too much fun and I get jealous. So using their own mollies against them, I get to burning. And no matter how many times I tried to set them or their house on fire, they didn't lose faith in me once.
They ain't even phased, like. My allies, on the other hand, they were always phased when I, try burn them. But these guys, they sound. Fair play. Maybe I misjudged the Wilkinsons.
Well, that is a surprising ending. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe. And if you're interested in picking yourself up a lizard hoodie, they're linked in the description.